Let's talk about this picture. There's a picture that AP Africa shared, and the heading of the article reads, "Amid a worldwide chorus against Russia's war in Ukraine, Africa has remained mostly quiet." A reminder of the Kremlin's considerable influence over the continent of 1.3 billion people. So, firstly, let's talk about the picture choice, and I'm putting the picture up this side. This picture choice is rather problematic. It's this depiction of somebody who's so in love with the AK and so in love with guns and so, by implication, in love with Russia. And I have a problem with this picture because they are trying to create a blanket narrative about African perceptions on the war in Ukraine through this image. A picture tells 1,000 words, they say. And this picture choice, in and of itself, speaks of the editorial decision that was made. So that's number one. Number two is there is this grouping of Africa. Imagine 54 countries being grouped into one monolithic thought. Sometimes there's value to that if there is a consensus amongst the African countries. But this thought of Africa as a single monolithic entity is often problematic. But let's also talk about something that happens a lot in Western media that they need to just reflect on. The idea that they can say global community while ignoring Africa. They'll say the global community this, the global community that. Africa's 54 countries. If you don't have Africa, 1.3 billion people, 54 countries, that's over 25% of the United Nations. You can't really speak about a global community consensus. And you can't really speak on it on an issue as delicate as this one, where you have China and Russia on one side, America and the rest of Europe on the other side, and then expect a country or African countries to take a clear position on an issue which puts them at odds between two elephants. The African saying goes, when the elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. And we suffered quite a lot actually in the World War, in the Cold War. We suffered because in Angola, the Cold War was fought on African soil, and that affected the development of Angola and set her back many years. Same applies to the DRC. Same applies to many other parts of Africa where the Cold War was not cold. It was hot and Africans died. So this idea that Africa needs to get involved and take a consensus position is one that we must think about more carefully than what the AP has done in this publication. But the picture in and of itself, oh my God. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.